Hey, welcome to the video. This is Browner Forever, and I'm going to show you some interesting siege teams because I just got a brand new monster, and you can see right here, it's Light Chun-Li. And I'm going to rip some of my old siege units apart to make some cool new mons, and hopefully it doesn't screw up all of my teams everywhere. So if you're interested, I came up with all the runes for this using the Summoner's War Optimizer, the Pro version, which I recommend if you have a computer with a graphics card. It's very helpful, helps you optimize your artifacts as well, which I'm not going to be worrying about during this video. But let's just get started and I'll show you how I'm going to build this Clara, which is actually my second Clara. I'll show you my first Clara after we're done. This Clara is going to be a Swift Clara. I have a Despair Clara, which is very good. And the premise of all these teams that use Clara does not necessarily mean that it's unbeatable. It means that it's hard to beat multiple times. So in top tier siege defenses, you're going to see people stacking the same defenses because people are going to run out of counters for this. So because this is my second Clara, and I'm going to be making a similar defense to the Galleon Clara Yen defenses that's pretty meta, I'm going to be making a Galleon Clara Light Chun-Li defense. And let's get started with what runes that we're going to be using. So I already have them all determined what I'm going to be using. So we just have to go find them. And this one is going to be a Swift with a speed, and let's sort by sub-properties. We're taking it off of the zinc because we're no longer going to be using zinc in the Steel Fortress. We're going to be using Ling Ling, so that's not necessary at this moment. We have a Swift rune from our Wusa, which we have a replacement for this Swift rune with this Swift rune right here, and hopefully it rolls into some more HP, and that'll be, if that rolls into more HP here, then that'll actually be an even better rune for Wusa. And Wusa's primarily being used in siege offense with the Water Horus and Belager, and it's a pretty good team. Mainly it's efficient because we're already using Belager for the BJR5 team. So let's continue on to the next set of runes. So this one's going to be Swift as well. And we're going to take it off of our second Swift Orion, which we have 3 Orions, and one of them is Violent. So we don't need the second... Oops, sorry. We're actually using this. We don't need to use all of those Orions when we have 2 Claras, because you kind of want to switch it up. The Orions and the Claras function in a similar way. Orions are better for some team comps, and Claras are better for others. And in this case, Clara is a good one for this team comp. Let's continue. So here we're going to take this off of our Bernard, which was being used for Illunia. So right now we're working on 2Aing or Second Awakening a bunch of rogues to get scalps for our triple Ikaru. And because of that, we do not need those Violent runes to be on that Bernard right now. And we're farming Violent runes so much right now that it doesn't matter. Okay, let's just double check that this is correct. We're going 121. Okay. So we have a 176 Clara, which is kind of on our second tier runes right now. We could probably get like 190 on first tier. Clara has a little bit of low base speed, and I have not been farming Swift runes as much as I should be. So let's move on to Let's move on to Galleon. We're going to be changing the Galleon runes for both of these to fix the Galleon Clara Yen team as well, because we're actually having to mess with the speed tuning to make this work. So this Galleon is going to be the Swift Galleon, and we're going to adjust some of these runes. So first we have a Tolerance rune coming off of that same Orion, and we have a Blade rune here that's going to be faster than that Blade rune. It's actually coming off of the other Galleon, but that won't matter because we're going to fix that Galleon's runes as well. And now we need to fix the Swift runes. So this is going to be, let's double check. That rune is going to be different. So I believe it's this one. And keep in mind, if you'd like to see in the future some more videos about how to use the rune optimizer, I'd be happy to do that. And we can go over how I might have made a team like this and how you speed tune. It's a little bit complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's just a matter of time until you really nail it. So this one is going to be coming off of this Orion as well. And then the last rune is the same, so we're gaining 14 speed, 15 if we want to go here and apply this legend, or 16 if we want to apply, if we get the good roll. So that should be good for now. That accuracy is pretty good. I always aim for over 85. It's not for sure that Galleon's going to even use the correct skill anyway, so I don't think this is going to matter too much. We'll see. We'll do a test after we finish all of this. And now let's move on to the Light Chun-Li. And if you don't know how Light Chun-Li works, she gets an extra 200%, up to an extra 200% increase of her attack, or the damage, based on the attack speed. So you need to be faster than your enemy. So with the Galleon speed lead, and she actually applies a slow on her second skill, although we're not going to be prioritizing getting a lot of accuracy, but maybe we can find an artifact just to give us a little bit. Who knows? I don't know. A little bit here or there might make a difference. Overall, the amount of damage that we're going to be doing is going to be really high if we outspeed, and if we don't outspeed, then we're probably going to lose. But if we didn't outspeed with the Galleon Clara Yen, we probably would lose as well. So it's not really a big deal, and we're going to be forcing them to use their fastest monsters in order to beat us. So we'll see how this team works. And so she's also going to be on Swift. So let me pull up the runes that I'm going to be using, and we're going to be doing we're going to be actually I'm sorry, I was wrong. I have a really fast fatal set. We're going to be using these fatal runes. So let's keep going. And we have I believe Sabrina runes, which we're not really using Sabrina right now. She's useful in some rifts right now for us, but that's not our priority right now because we have a really solid Dragons team, so that's pretty much what we're focusing on until we get much better runes there, and we can throw violent runes on anything pretty much. And that's what I would recommend, is if you are able to do the triple Ikaru team, then just focus on that. Don't worry about the rest of your runes. And you can just keep farming that, and almost every single monster can be used on violent. So this is a nice violent rune that we're gonna be just throwing away and not on. It's unfortunate, but we're we're going to be using that there, and we're actually going to be taking a rune off of Miho here. But as you can see, this is going to be a really fast Chun-Li with decent accuracy or crit rate and crit damage. Like I said, we had to use kind of second tier runes because we have a lot of other units right now that are built similarly, and we'll see how this works. So that should be good. Let's move on. So now we've actually messed up this Miho, which we have a rune to fix, and we have this Galleon, which is in the yen also. The yen is fine actually as it is, but the Galleon on Violent is actually going to be way better on defense, because if they don't one-shot all your units and Galleon can Violent proc and make sure that he uses his time to loot skill, then that's going to be way more effective. And if Yen is also on Violent, then she can just go crazy. So there's always that RNG chance. So that's what we're looking for with this second team, which is still going to be pretty fast. So we're going to be pulling off Bernard because we already pulled something off, so you might as well. And we have, let's make sure, we have this crit damage rune, which unfortunately we don't have a lot of crit rate on this build, but maybe we can change that in the near future. So let's keep looking for the right runes, and this one's gonna be off of Airgar, I think. No, I'm sorry, it's coming off of nobody. It's just coming straight out of the inventory. So yeah, just keep farming dragons, and then you won't be worrying about your rune depth, and you'll just have good runes all around, and you can fix those teams later and focus on doing necro, doing rifts, whatever it is. And once you get to the point of being able to do triple Ikaru teams, you're probably gonna already not have a problem with having enough depth to at least do some of those other things if necessary, but maybe they might be slow or low damage for the rifts, so don't worry about it too much. Just have fun. That's my plan right now. Alright, this one's gonna come off Triton because we don't have a 33 speed lead, so we're kind of shaming Triton since we haven't been given a 33 speed lead. Oh, that's not the right rune. This one. So this is correct. And we'll have to see maybe if there's something we can do. Might be able to get some more accuracy here if we have an accuracy. No, not right now. Well, that's alright, because this Galleon hopefully will just go violent crazy and it won't matter. So we're good there, and we'll try to improve his runes later. Maybe replace this, maybe with a blade rune possibly, or just do a complete rebuild. And then lastly, we're gonna put this Yen back on violent. So let's see. Got speed. We're taking this one off of Airgar because even after his buff to be better for Steel Fortress, he's still kind of garbage, and I do use him in the rifts, but I don't really care. I'll just put him on some other kind of garbage runes. He doesn't need to be on top tier runes for that. He honestly doesn't need to be on top tier runes anyway, because his damage isn't ridiculous unless you put ridiculous runes on him. So let's take his runes. Not all of them, but and then later I'll have to go back in and fix all of these. So let's see how that goes. And we're taking 14 speed. It's this one. And then we're gonna take the, let's see, is it this one? And then we're missing one more rune. We're a fatal rune. And this is gonna be a Orochi. Let's see, that looks right. Alright, so let's first sell these runes because there's probably nothing good here. No, nothing good. Not good. But with the auto battle, it's great. You can just keep going through, get more mana, get better runes. Too much things to distract you in this game. Just gotta focus on one thing, get really good stuff, make it easy for you to switch to the next thing. So you have extra runes to just play around with. You always need more violent runes. So can't recommend enough to get more violent runes with whatever safe team you want. Another team that worked pretty well for me, just as an FYI, was a Verd with the Spectra and Lauren, not that one, that's my BJR5 Lauren. This Lauren, the light homunculus on this build, and a Roke. And your Roke doesn't really need to have accuracy, or it can be this one. This one probably has more damage. It doesn't really need to have accuracy. I do recommend Violent, because your Lauren should be causing the defense break. So damage, 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 and speed. And those are not super great runes, because I had to put my better Violent runes on my PvP, more focused monsters. And the Rogues can be used for PvP, but they're not as good for... They're not quite as good for PvP on the builds that I have them. Alright, let's check that this is the right galleon. Alright, so this is my Despair Clara. So actually I want my Violent galleon with this Clara, because this Yen's also on Violent. And we can just go ahead and test against this. We're gonna let's use this team, which, okay, so I must have flip-flopped my galleons by accident, but so we gotta take this guy out and make it that one. And let's see how this goes. And then I don't think it's gonna let me, yeah, it's not gonna let me do that. So right now we'll just put this in just for fun and see what happens. Probably they're definitely gonna outspeed and destroy her, but it doesn't matter. So let's just see how this goes. And this Orion is on Violent, so is the Perna. So this Clara is even faster on Despair, and her AI is perfect, so let's just click play. So you got one stun. The Orion's gonna cut in because the Galleon is a little bit slow, but that's alright. They can still come back and Bioproc like crazy. It's gonna be really hard for anyone to consistently beat this defense over and over again. And that defense is also no slouch. So that and G1 has about 31 and 17 of a record. So let's try that again. And then if Clara stuns the Orion, then this team should have a really hard time. Alright, so we should be good if he uses time to loot. But Perna's always a crazy threat. Yeah, I love my Perna defense. Alright, well this is also a little bit unfair because we're going up against a Nat 5 defense, but let's switch over to the other offense and see how that does compared to the Galleon Clara Yen. So we'll go set a new deck. So here, this one's going to be the fast Galleon, the fast Clara, and the light Chun-Li. And then let's select that there, and then let's put in a Skogul, I guess, here. I don't know, let's see what happens. Or you know what? Let's choose a weird team like this and just see how that does on defense. Alright. The idea here is we want to see how this might do on defense, so we're going to click auto. Time to loot. 46k. Didn't use the AoE skill though. That's gonna be tough. Spinning bird kick. Okay. And you can see just how strong the light Chun-Li is. If she used the spinning bird kick the first time around, it would have been permanent on its own, which is a threat. And let's put this on auto and see what happens. So they didn't go too crazy there. But if the Galleon crits, the Galleon is gonna do a lot of damage. He just doesn't have a lot of crit rate, so you don't know if this Yen can beat this Fen Yang or Feng Yan, or however you pronounce his name, without a defense break. The Clara does have a defense break, but it's only on skill 2. But it's going pretty crazy here, and I think that this will be irritating enough. My focus was on to make the light Chun-Li defense, or I guess it can be used on offense as well, and the Yen team can be used on offense to RNG. But you want to use the more tried and true teams when you can on offense. But the RNG teams are really, really, really strong for defense. So let's try this again, just because I'm interested. And let's try another team. Let's try this. This is my substitute team for the Kamoon Vigor Skogul, which is pretty meta, which I could build that, but I have Kamoon Beta Skogul, which probably Kamoon Vigor Skogul would be better, but I'm kind of like squeezing out 2 defenses with these, and this one seems to be doing okay. People kind of have a difficult time figuring out how to deal with it. It's probably going to lose to the Galleon Clara Yen though. But let's try this again. See if this can win twice when the Yen defense failed. Spinning bird kick. And if this team can go violent crazy, it can still win. Up, and it's over. So I'm pretty happy with this team. It might not win every single time, but it's pretty strong. This light Chun-Li is awesome, and I have pretty much full skill ups for the light Chun-Li. Missing 1 skill up. Wow! Wow! Let's see, can it pull that out? Oh yeah, easily. Alright, maybe I need to rethink this defense. Maybe this defense isn't as good as I thought. Alright, so that was pretty cool. I am going to replace this defense here with those... Actually, yep, that's the correct one. I'm going to replace that defense here with this new late Chun-Li, because that is pretty awesome. So far, I have not gotten light and dark Ryu or M Bison, which I don't expect to. But if this is all I get, that's pretty awesome. It's outspeeding this Orion with a plus 152. It's got 120 base speed. It was actually not that hard to get 145, which is why I'm able to do a fatal. And you can imagine that with the Swift set, the Swift set bonus here is plus 25. So plus 25 on 120 is going to be 30, an extra 30. So if you had the same exact runes, you'd have a little bit less attack, but you'd have 30 more speed. So that would just be absolutely nuts. And if you could just make it so this is not broken here, you could definitely make up for those stats and be get the crit rate here, and then stack some more attack somewhere else. And we don't even have artifacts. This team is fully artifact. At least it has white artifacts that I leveled up to get the main stat. But this team does not have artifacts, and it absolutely decimated this team twice. So I'm glad that you guys are able to see that. Before we go, I'm gonna go make sure that is set up as one of my defenses here, and I fixed these defenses. So we gotta modify. This is the incorrect galleon. So that should be the correct galleon. Complete. We're gonna add one more formation here, and we're gonna add this galleon, this Clara, and the light Chun-Li, and we're gonna let people get destroyed by it. So hopefully that's what happens, and maybe we'll make another video checking in and seeing what happens. Thanks guys, I appreciate the time that you took to watch the video. If you want to see me do some Summoner's War Optimizer, or you want to see any more Siege content, I'm thinking about making a how to make a Siege defense video. We're just gonna go randomly and pick somebody in here. We're gonna say this guy. I can tell you with just looking at this immediately something that's gonna make these defenses much better. And that's that you cannot have a single element defense, and this guy has two of them. I guarantee you, if we go to look at the defense log, then they're not gonna be good. Okay, we have 0-2 and 0-0. 0-5. This might just be a rune quality issue, to be honest. But we're gonna say that the reason why they're not getting a lot of wins and they're not being used at all is because we know better than to pick single element, which is why both of those defenses that I just made, the Galleon Clara Yen and the Galleon Clara Light Chun-Li, this one is Water, Fire, Light, and this one's Water, Fire, and Wind. So you're gonna want tri-element. They can't be soloed. So you're always gonna come across some farmers. So let me know in the comments, or you can message me on Discord. My Discord username is BrownerForever, and you can friend me. Just join our community first. First thing you can do is click the. You can click sorry. On my YouTube channel, there should be a link to the community, or you can use that little banner that's been popping up all throughout the video, and you can see exactly where our community comes together. We have 7 guilds right now. We're still growing. We're always looking for more recruits. If you're in our community, please let me know if you liked this video, and I'm gonna try and put out some more stuff. This is more of a top tier, like G1 type video. So if you want to see some lower level stuff, I can try and see what we got. All right, thanks. Have a good one.